Thank you for tuning in to Cop with Comic. I'm Brian Koppen, and we're with Comic Kevin Gootee. Kevin Gootee, how the hell are you?
Fantastic. That is a lot of alliteration you just spewed out right there. That's
Dude,
a lot of
yeah.
K's and C's there. It's a lot of
I
hard sounding words there.
I only started that with the pandemic, man. That's the only way the pandemic's affected me. I had to do this remote shit, and it's just fucking like stuff like Zoom. It just clips off the audio, so you need to repeat everything 4,000 times.
Well, yeah, I hear you. That's whatever works for you and floats your boat. By all means, fucking do it.
But dude, you're a TV guy. You're used to repeating shit, man. Let's talk about comics. Watching comics, man. I just took down what 4 seasons of that. Are you guys gonna release a new season soon?
Only if somebody pays for it, in the sense of giving me a bigger budget and gets me bigger names and a bigger set than my house. Sure.
So that really was at your house, huh?
That really is my house.
Wow,
So I don't
he's
know.
a truth teller.
Yeah, it's the first when we tape it at a comedy club. The first half, obviously, where we tape the comics, and the second half with the panel stuff. That's all at my place.
Wow, that's a fucking pretty pimp apartment, dude.
Oh, thanks. My wife doesn't think so, but whatever. Who cares?
She's the one who needs the bigger budget, man. She's making you sell out. She's making you sell out, bro.
Yeah, no, we're trying. Yeah, I mean, I believe me. I love the show. I want to do more of it. Again, it's just getting a network on board, getting more money to play with, and instead of just having friends and people I know in the industry come over and do it. You know, I'd rather, like I said, get the big names on there and have more glitz and glamour behind it, and hell, get me more money. So that's the goal. So love to do it. We're just waiting for someone to throw an offer out there.
Because you're making it just truckloads of money, just not a fleet of trucks.
Right. That's why I still have an apartment.
But yeah, so like, what would be your dream team of judges? Because I know you had some great judges on there. We're hoping to have Ray Goots on. Like, Ray Goots on this show. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Goots. Goots is great. Goots was on season 3. He also did my podcast. I did his podcast, his Disney podcast. Goots is a great guy, so you're gonna have fun with him.
Yeah, it sounds like he's a great guest. He was recommended by Eric Branstein. But yeah, I recognize Ralph Anthony. He was one of your first guests on the first season.
Right.
And it was so funny to see you guys talk about, his look not matching his material or something. And
Yeah.
I guess the question is whether or not like your commentary makes certain people change. Any of these people come up to you and said, "Yo, I changed my act as a result."
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people have said they have done it because of, when you're a comic, you have your friends who sometimes just going to back up whatever you say. Yeah, man, good set. And maybe not give you that poignant feedback that someone who's been around longer or someone who's an outsider who doesn't feel the need to be always keeping your feelings in mind. A lot of people have. In fact, I'll give you one right now, and that's oh my God, I blanked on his name. Son of a bitch. Ray. He was on season 3.
Okay.
Why am I blanking on Ray's last name? I'm sorry, Ray. He just moved to Costa Rica. Good dude. Long and the short is this. He comes on does the show. He's bombed out of his mind. He's high and he's bombed. He eats a barrel of shit. Fast forward to him asking to do our live show, which is also an Amazon Video, the Gotham Showcase, where we have all of our winners. But Ray secured a spot on the redemption section where I had him and a bunch of other people who really ate shit on the show get a second chance at it, and wow. Ray kicked ass. And Ray came up to me and goes, "Dude, that was the absolute proverbial, like the slap in the face I needed to get my shit together."
Wow.
And Ray went down to Atlantic City, lived there for a long, long time, and just kept honing his craft, getting up, and was better. And you'll see that in the live show on Amazon Video.
Yeah, even I think Chanel Ali was early on. And I think she's pretty prominent in the New York City scene right now. Have some of these people gone on to do great things?
Yeah, Chanel did a great job, and she absolutely is making some moves here in the industry. So good on her. So yeah. I like to think that we had myself and maybe the panel, obviously the panel as well, had an eye for her, and it's from Jump Street. But she's been doing it for a long time, even before she came to New York. She was in Philadelphia kicking ass long before she came here and long before my show. So she's had the goods since day one, I think.
Yeah, and then as good as the judges were, like, what would be the dream team of judges? They back up the Brink trucks and they let you pick whoever you want to be judges or rotating judges. Who are the big comic names you would choose?
Good question. I would say David. I know David Tell is one of them. I love Chris Rock, and Bonnie McFarlane is so vicious and funny. I think she'd be great on the couch too. I almost had her husband Rich Voss on, but Voss wanted a lot of money, and I said no. But Bonnie would be great. Chris Rock, obviously, because he's fucking Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I mean Chappelle too, of course. Burr, but David Tell is my first. It would be my numero uno choice. DePaulo's great too. DePaulo's very biting as well. He'd be a good panelist. But David Tell is my favorite comic of all time. So he's 1A and Rodney Dangerfield's 1B. So I'd say it's Tell.
They want too much money, and you need to move out of your apartment.
You're not kidding. Jesus Christ. Hello, networks. Can you hear a guy asking for some help? It's a proven concept, damn it. Get on board. Get me out of corporate America, for Christ's sakes.
But like the bigger the judge, it would have to be the bigger the comic. Like, I think during the first season, somebody brought up, and somebody will be watching this and it'll be comics watching comics. Like if you had big names, would you then feel more comfortable going with advanced comics to criticize rather than intermediate comics?
Not really, because more known comics, they already got their legs from under them. They're already making moves and getting stuff going on. The whole reason for the show is to give intermediate comics a more of a shot because, well, I mean, obviously I've done the show long before COVID. When the clubs reopen, man, at half capacity, probably even 25% capacity, it's going to be a dogfight to get spots. And all those top name performers are going to get those spots. So guys and girls in the middle are going to have less and less places in the clubs to perform. Hence why, it'd be a great spot to do my show if we can, again, get it going on a network and get it paid for. So,
that's
I don't think I want to give the unknowns a shot. Everyone knows, the Mark Normans of the world, people we're starting to know who he is, and Sam Morrell's. And folks at that level, but I want to give the people who are guys and girls who are still intermediate, trying to give them that bump, and if they kick ass in this show, maybe get them in the eyes of people all across the nation and bookers, so they can see them and leapfrog some of the bullshit and red tape in the meantime, if they're ready for it, of course.
Wow, you're doing the Lord's work. And I guess that leads to the question, like, how did this thing get filmed? Like, were these people like, all right, you show up at New York Comedy Club on this date, these times, they're going to rip you a new asshole, but you're going to be on something like Amazon? Do they know what they were signing up for and how far in advance?
The first season, no, because the first season, I just explain what's up. And a lot of the first two seasons, we taped 2 seasons in one day. So it's 1, 2 in one day, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So 1 and 2 are a lot of, like, a good chunk of them are my friends, or people I knew very well, and then other people who applied. And then after that, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you knew what you're getting into. Like the people who were in 1 and 2 may or may not have known. Like I told them, I said, hey, it's criticism. You may get fucked with, you may get shit on, or you may get a fucking a verbal high five and pick me up, man. You never know. It's all a gamble. Just don't go in here and half-ass it, or don't take it. Or if you don't take it seriously, you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
So by season 3 and 4, you know what you're getting into. So for you to go in there and kind of wing it like some people did later on, and then go, oh, it's bullshit. Well, no, fuck you. That's on you for not doing your homework or knowing, you're chasing the credit. But you damn well know that you're very likely to get your balls broken probably, or if you suck, you're going to hear it. And if you're great, you're going to hear it too. But there is a gamble. This is not just, I'm jerking every comic off by, like, hey, you're a nice guy or a nice girl. Let's have you on the show. And hey, here's an Amazon and IMDb credit. No, you got to fucking earn that. You're going to get it, but you may come through with some scars in the process, or you may come through with some rewards in the process.
So even those people who got ripped a second asshole are using this as a credit?
Of course they are.
And it's big. It's
and
totally
you're stupid,
big.
and you're stupid if you're not doing it as a credit. That's for sure.
And I guess one of the questions I have, especially with the first couple seasons, is if you knew these people, were you guys holding back in any of your criticism? Like some of the criticism I saw took the shape of, yeah, this guy sucks dick, but he'll find a place in a writer's room. Like that was a nice. This guy is not funny at all. He will find a place in a writer's room. He'll end up on Trevor Noah's staff in 2 years.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's what it is again. And it's just, I guess a quick aside, like when you get into comedy, I guess a lot of people envision themselves as a road comic. That's the basic, goals people have. Maybe people have grander goals. Like I thought that was my goal. But when I got into comedy, I go, there's a lot more than just living in shitty motel rooms, 48 out of the 52 weekends in a year. That's not my cut. I've always thought I've had pretty good ideas for TV stuff. I went out and had the balls to make them and do it. And I think I know this is more my path than a road comic. Besides, even as a road comic, I'll tell you another quick story. Mike Lawrence, I don't know if you know who he is or not. He's a writer for Roast Battle. He wrote on Greg Fitzsimmons' show. Sorry, not Fitzsimmons' show. Pete Holmes' show called Crashing on HBO.
Yeah.
Moved out to LA. He used to be a New York comic. Real nice guy. One day we're doing a show, and he says, guess what? I had the best year ever doing stand-up this year. And this is, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. He goes, want to take a guess how much I made? I go, well, since you're off, Frank, sure, tell me. He goes, 33,000. I go, 33,000. I made more out of my first year in college in corporate America than that. I said, no fucking way. Yeah. So, I mean, just grinding it out like that. I just, I've been in corporate America so long. I'm accustomed to the lifestyle. I can't go do that route. So listen, for those people who want to do it, knock yourself out, go for it. It's just not the lottery ticket that I want. Like the lottery ticket I think I have are the shows and the podcasts that are going to make me, very attractive to networks or agents or managers or whatever, just to really help me get my projects off the ground. So,
but again, so how did you do it? Like, at what point did Amazon get lined up for that first and second season? Like you kind of were flying blind. You probably didn't have the deal lined up yet. Like how'd you convince this big name talent to sign on as judges? And not, I guess you weren't able to dangle the Amazon credit.
Yeah, so here's the story. Amazon was not on board from day one. Amazon didn't get on board till season 4. And how I got on Amazon? Pure nepotism, a pure connection. That's it. Bottom fucking line. Okay. It was a hookup. So I know somebody who got it in, and there we are. So, you know what? Everyone's got connection. Everyone's got hookups. I had one in Amazon, so I will take it and run. Dude, no, you're right. So they weren't on board in the beginning, but. So it was on YouTube for the first 4 seasons, and then season 5 was the first year I got it on Amazon.
Wow, that's fucking sweet. Did it have some neat traction, or was it just the hookup?
No, the guy who was in charge of it was just like, yeah, this is good stuff. I like what you're doing here. I can get it on Amazon. Let's do it. So I said, okay. It's not Amazon original programming. Let me just be completely honest. It's not Amazon original programming.
It's Kevin Gootee original programming shit.
You're goddamn right it is.
and so much so
part of the Monkey Butt Productions family here. My production company name. So.
I would expect nothing less than a funny name like that, man. You said Monkey Butt, right? I love that. I saw that meme.
That is my daughter's nickname, so that's how that came.
Dude, I fucking love it. I got to keep the nepotism going. We have to make her a judge. But one thing I loved is the addition of Jeffrey fucking Gurian. Like the biggest compliment I ever got paid was some dude on Reddit was like, "You're the next Jeff Gurian." I'm like, "Your lips to God's ears. That guy is a fucking American classic."
What did he mean by you're the next Jeffrey Gurian?
Well, meaning just interviewing hundreds of comics. That's about
okay.
That's where the comparison ends. Yeah, but how'd you get Jeff Gurian? You just recognize he's a classic. We got to get him involved.
Yeah, he's been around. You see him at shows. You can't miss him. I mean, that hair alone, and you just know the name. And he's been a bunch of he's been around comedy forever. So it's just like, well, you know what? Why not? Why not have a guy who provides a little bit of the old school comedy world as part of the panel? And then we got Eddie Brill's master panelist in season 8. When you see that, Eddie Brill used to be the booker for Letterman, and he's been working for forever. And he actually was roommates in college with Dennis Leary. So it's been he's been another guy who's been around the game and then some too.
I mean, now you're doing other things. I mean, in the meantime, when you're trying to back up the Brinks truck, you're doing Gutting the Sacred Cow, and that's where you have your famous comedy friends, and you're just ripping movies, you asshole.
Not really ripping movies and new assholes. It's so all my shows, you may notice, are going to have a common theme but an insane twist. Like Last Comic Standing in Mystery Science Theater 3000, that's comics watching comics. I thought Last Comic Standing was boring. I decided to make a cool little twist on it. A, intermediate comics, and B, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 aspect of it, because I think people are more interested in seeing what comics really say about other comics and advice to give, and just showing people how hard it is just being funnier than the Office fucking water cooler funny guy or girl. It's a lot harder than that. With Gutting the Sacred Cow, there are tens of thousands of jerk-offs with movie podcasts, and a lot of them are fucking awful. I've listened to some, and hell, I've been a guest on some of them, and they're just 4 people sitting around waxing poetic about their reviews and movies. Guess what? No one fucking cares. Yeah. No one cares unless you're a huge name. Unless your takes are so insanely off the wall or hilarious, or you're a name. No one cares. Here's the story of how Gutting the Sacred Cow is different than most podcasts. What we do is this. We invite a guest on to pick a film that they find insanely overrated or just flat out hate. But here's the twist. It has to meet one of these criteria. Widely beloved, critically acclaimed, or financially successful. So basically, you can't go and try and shit on Friday the 13th Part 8. You all know that sucks. We want something that's going to take some skill. All right? We want like a B film or like I said, a horror sequel. It's going to be something that's going to make people look at their phone and go, "What? That guy or that girl is saying that film sucks. How dare you?" And then they're going to want to listen and hear the rationale why. So that's the real hook on Gutting the Sacred Cow, what makes it different than everybody else. And we don't, again, these people, they don't win a lot. I think about 30-40% of the time that they are able to successfully gut the sacred cow. No one has been able to convince us solely of their argument to say, hey, you're right, this film is a piece of shit. We may have deducted a point here or there because of their argument was so good. You're like, you know what? I'm going to knock my score down one. But or the movie itself is so bad it hangs itself. It just needs someone just kind of like boop, like poke it in the nose and knock it down. It's that bad. And there are plenty of times where like, no, you're an asshole. This movie is fucking great, and you're just stupid. So
you just end up roasting the guest in certain situations.
Oh yeah. We roast plenty of people that are terrible at at picking films. Like Pulp Fiction went after by my very good friend Lynette Palladino. She walked into a buzzsaw. She should have known better. She knows that's my second favorite film of all time. Star Wars was went after. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was went after. There are a lot of big name films here that have been gone after. There are also a lot of big name films that stink, and people are like, "Yeah, that film sucks." And I'm like, "Yep, right on. It is a piece of shit." So, bottom line, like I said before, we take things that are established and have an insanely unique hook on it instead of trying inventing the wheel with other brand new ideas. But yeah, everyone loves to talk about movies. Everyone loves film debate. No one is doing what I'm doing. And again, it's just not a movie review podcast for the sake of having it. I think those are just insanely boring. And again, no one cares.
And it's edgy because one of your retweets, your recent retweet, was Jim Stansel. And so that's a pretty, his "honey, I yelled the blank word" was pretty fucking hilarious take on Rick Moranis. I love that.
And I thought that was fucking funny. I thought that was a great fucking joke. That was
I was like, this podcast is good if they're retweeting Stansel. And Gutting the Sacred Cow, I mean, it's fucking huge, thousands of followers and shit like that. How often do you release? When can we expect it?
You can really expect a new episode every week. In fact, if you subscribe, I upload it, every Friday night or Saturday. In fact, I just put up a brand new episode last night where we have White Sox Dave from Barstool Sports go after Step Brothers. So we have that. And then we have next week, we have the guys from the STST podcast doing Point Break. And my co-host Kevin Israel booked another guy we're taping on Monday. He's doing X-Men, which I just rewatched today. And then I'm bringing back my one of our favorites, Dave Landau from Compound Media and also from the Anthony Cumia show. He's coming back in 2 weeks from Monday. Just confirmed that this morning. Love Landau. One of my favorite episodes was Landau doing Philadelphia. So Landau shooting Philadelphia is a fucking hoot.
Dude, I can't wait till somebody likens that Point Break to fucking Fast and Furious. They're the same fucking movie.
No, Point Break is better than Fast and Furious.
Oh, absolutely. I fucking hate Fast. No, Point Break is amazing. And then when they come along and rip it off to the tune of Fast and Furious and then turn into a franchise, I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, Point Break's a good one. So it's funny sometimes when I text Kevin, or he'll text me, but more when I text Kevin, like, our guest has picked this film. And most of the time I can kind of sniff out if Kevin's going to be like, oh, I like that movie or I hate it. If it's one he likes and the person's trying to shit on it, he'll go, man, fuck that guy. I wrote that all in caps. And when I told him about Point Break, man, he was just like, man, fuck that guy. Fuck those guys. So pretty funny.
Dude, that's fucking sweet. Well, I love it so much. Are you going to be on Compound Media or Gas Digital Network anytime?
I'm on Compound Media every month for the morning show with Bill and Joanne. Love those two. Bill's been on the show 3 times, once as a guest host and twice as a gutter. Joanne Noshaczynski, his co-host, also been on twice. Love those two. So yeah, I'm on Compound. I was on Cumia's show, I think was it April or May, and that was great. I got Anthony Cumia on the show as well. He did Face Off, and I aim to try and get back on again, as well as have Anthony back on again, because that's one of our highest rated episodes. The Compound Media folks absolutely love us. They're such a great loyal fan group, and they think we're funny, more importantly. So we're cool with them, and they are certainly cool with us. So we can't be more thankful for that connection we made with them.
And so how'd you make the choice to do it with Kevin Israel?
Great question. So I came up with the idea, and I threw it out there on Facebook, like, hey, I'm looking for a co-host. I've done a few other podcasts, one called the defunct Now Safe Word with Monica Vita, one of my friends. Then I did another one with Jeffrey Paul called the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast, where we talk movie and films. And I go, let's. I had this idea to try and say, let's invite people on to shit on films that everyone loves. So I threw it on Facebook, and people were like, "Hey, I'm interested. I'm interested." And when Kevin Israel said, "Hey, man, this is something I could definitely do," I knew it was him. I knew he'd be the person. Here's why. I mean, I've been Facebook friends with him for a while. We've hung out a few times before that, but we've always had these Facebook, the repartee between us on Facebook with movies is pretty good. He'll tell you, I think 75% of the time we very much agree, but the 25% we lock horns like a pair of rams.
Wow.
So I knew he'd be the perfect yin to my yang. Good. So when he goes, "Hey, I'm interested," I knew that was it, and I didn't even think twice. And Kevin's another fellow corporate America guy, so he knows how all the behind the scenes bullshit work needs to be done. He's a very hard worker, and we work well in tandem, again, on the show as well as off the show. And I dare say, I mean, actually tomorrow is our 1-year anniversary, and we've made a lot more traction than any podcast I worked on and he's worked on. And I might dare say than most podcasts are that have done in a year. I think our social media numbers are better than what most people do in a year, and our downloads are better than that. But listen, they're good. They're not fucking Bill Burr or Rogan great. Let's not get crazy. But I'm very pleased with our first year numbers. So now I expect more than double that for second year. So, but yeah, that's how I knew Kevin was the guy. He just, again, previous engagements on Facebook together, and I just knew he's a solid dude through and through, and he's funny. So that's what I need.
Dude, I mean, yeah, the reason why you're so big is not only because you're a famous motherfucker, but because you picked the right ideas, and so you're the guy to watch. Kevin Gootee, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. Famous. You keep saying famous. I don't know. Famous. I
Infamous.
wish.
Infamous.
I wish the money would match that title you keep giving me.
Dude, we got to get you out of that apartment. It's a pimp apartment, though.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And, of course, thank you for the time in the show. And if everyone can go and check out Gutting the Sacred Cow, subscribe for the love of Christ.
Yes.
On iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google, you name it, we're on it. We're also on YouTube. So if you want to see my smiling face and my teeth, yes, teeth. Why did I say teeth? My favorite 5-star rating we got on iTunes, which was just this past week, where the reviewer said, "I have nice teeth," and she watches because I have nice teeth. So that took me for a curveball. That was a very nice thing of her to say. But, like I said, all the podcast platforms, guttingthesacredcow.com is also really cool because you go there on Monday through Friday. Kevin Israel and I have new articles every single day. We talk, list of 10. We pick a theme, and we do a hashtag list of 10, our favorite movie quotes, movies that we've just seen, movie news, and movie sequels we want to see or never asked for. So guttingthesacredcow.com, every day, new articles, as well as we have a merch shop. You can buy a shirt. I expect you to buy a shirt, for the love of Christ.
Fuck yeah, man. Does it have your famous teeth? If it has your famous teeth on there, I'm buying it.
I am smiling in one of those pictures. Yeah. Hats, bags, shirts, everything, guttingthesacredcow.com. Check that out. But subscribe. And if you do like the show, cool. Tell a friend, tell a few friends, but, more importantly, subscribe. And if you could, leave us a 5-star rating, 2-sentence review. That's the cool thing to do for us. We'd really appreciate that.
And it's the next Comics Watching Comics, isn't it?
I hope so. I mean, comicswatchingcomics.com has all the information you need there, but if it's on Amazon Prime, if you have Prime, it's free for seasons 1, all of them, all seasons 1 through 8, and the live show. So you can binge that. Each season's about an hour and a half, hour and 45 long. So it's like watching a feature length film. But yeah, give Comics Watching Comics a shot. It's great. This is my first real baby. And if you're listening out there, you want to buy a show, call me up.
Dude, fuck yeah! But even Gutting the Sacred Cow, man, you gotta have that hook. You have that hook up at Amazon. He's gonna see your traction on all these fucking, iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and all that bullshit. So Gutting the Sacred Cow is the next big thing.
I really hope so. I really do. I think I've got some good stuff. I have another concept for a game show that I haven't shot yet because that's expensive and I don't plan on paying for that. But yeah, I've got other things too. That I think I think creating shows and show running is my end game.
It's the teeth. Kevin Gootee and his famous teeth. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Good stuff today, man. Really appreciate the time.